3D Unicorn Acrylic Nail Art Design by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone! So in today's video I'm going to be making a 3D unicorn, and this is going to be an easier one. I did make one about, 8 months ago, and that one was more on the advanced side with a horn that came actually off the nail and went really far up. And I know that that isn't what all of you are looking for. Sometimes you want something more wearable, which is what this one is going to be. It's going to be more wearable, and it's also going to be a quick Born Pretty store review too. So I'm going to be using some products from there. And so I hope you like it. I hope you like that it's more wearable. Not all my designs are. And please click subscribe to see my future videos as well. So these are the products that I'm going to be reviewing from Born Pretty store. These are a set of rhinestones, and they all came together for a really good price, which was amazing. And then I've got some caviar beads in different colors and some little multicolored beads, some latex that goes around your nail to help clean up, and then some stones. So here's the rhinestones, and they have 2mm, 3, 4, and 5. And like I said, they all came together in one set, which was an incredible price. I can't think of what it was off, but like $5 for all of these rhinestones, and they're super good quality. They're the kind that have the pointed background, so they have a depth to them when you look at them. And the other thing that's really good about getting them in a set like this is that they all have the exact same color, or the same colors, and so you know they're going to match if you use them together in a design. Here are the caviar beads. I am very happy with the actual caviar beads, the gold and silver ones that are metal. They're really good quality, they're nice and small, and I like them, and the little jars are really nice too. The plastic ones that are the colors I'm less thrilled about, and I'll talk more about those in a minute. These are little stones that I actually really like, except for there's a little bit of a rough edge around them. Otherwise though, they're awesome. They're really pretty, and they're all unique and individual, which makes them just really, really cool. And this is the liquid latex, sort of a liquid palisades type product, and there was a little bit of a leakage problem around the outside, but once I cleaned that off, there was no issue. The brush, however, did have all the bristles weren't laying flat, which is kind of unfortunate, and it does happen, and you just have to sort of deal with it when you do get a bottle that has it like that. But as far as the liquid itself, the liquid latex product, I thought it was really good. You could see it clearly when it dried, which is nice, and it peeled off really cleanly. So now to start the design, I'm going to be grabbing a bead of clear acrylic, and then I'm going to dip it into all those little multicolored plastic beads. And as I mentioned, I'm not quite as happy with these as some of the other products, mainly because they bled. The color bled off of them when they got in contact with the acrylic. And I can't say for sure that that would happen if you were to use regular nail polish and do it on top of a nail design, or if it's just with monomer that it has that reaction. I would imagine it would be with either product. And so it actually turned out looking okay for this design, but in certain circumstances it would not. And then I'm going to cover up everything with some silver glittery acrylic, and I'm trying to keep this as thin as possible because those little beads were a little thicker than I had originally thought they were going to be, which made the entire design a little thicker, but it ended up being okay in the end. And then I'm going to encase it with a layer of clear acrylic, and once again I'm trying to keep this as absolute thin as possible, which was not going quite as well as I thought it was going to. And it was actually okay because the silver glitter acrylic that I'm using, it's okay if it gets filed a little bit. It's not like some of them that if it gets filed, it doesn't look right anymore. It gets really messed up. This one is not that way. So now as I'm filing it with a 180 grit file, I am filing through that clear acrylic, through some of the silver, and into the layer that has those beads, just to thin it out so that the whole entire nail isn't as thick as it was in the beginning, because it was pretty bulky. So once I have that filed, I also am going to buff it, which I forgot to show you. I'm so sorry, with a 240 buffer just to remove any scratches. And now I'm going to be working on my unicorn. So with white acrylic, and as you can see, I'm using the brush that I've been using this entire time in this beginning part just to keep it, because these are nice, big, round, easy to create shapes. And so the first thing is an oval for the head, and then just sort of a wonky looking triangle for his body and neck. And now I did switch off to my 3D brush, and I'm going to start working on his mane. And the mane is probably acrylic wise the most difficult part of this, and so we're just going to start and add a bead up right about the top of his head, and then curve that down and slowly taper it off because we want it to look like his neck is turned, and then pick it up on the other side underneath his chin, and then just pull it up so it once again tapers and it looks like it continues from the other side, and then add another bead down there and just pull it out with your brush to make it look like he's got some hair that's hanging over his back. Now it's really easy. You just have to take a wet bead and then you just pull it with your brush. It has an amazing effect, but it's really quite easy to do. And then create his ear with just a tiny bead, just like a little petal. And then with a lighter shade of purple acrylic, I'm going to be sculpting a long triangle for his horn. just like that. And it's, like I said, this is pretty easy. We're going to once again be just pulling some of his mane over his forehead, just with a wet bead, and then pulling it out with the brush. So now I'm going to be attaching some of those really awesome rhinestones with some clear acrylic. And I'm not using the largest size, I'm using the 2 and 3 millimeter ones for this. And I'm just going to fill in with, I'm just going to go around the one side of the nail. And I'm not going to go all the way to the very edge of the nail, because when you do that, especially if you're planning on wearing this, if you have rhinestones going all the way out to the edge, it's going to make your nail look really wide, and it's also going to probably be a little irritating on your sidewall, on your skin. It's going to just hit it, and it's not going to be, like I said, it's just going to be a little irritating. So you want to make sure that you sort of keep just a little bit of a gap behind that, and generally speaking, you won't even tell that there's a gap. If you look at it straight on, those rhinestones will look like they go all the way to the edge, even if they don't. So I'm filling in with those colors of rhinestones, and I'm using the clear and the purple and the pink ones to do this. And I'm also going to be adding some of those silver caviar beads in the areas that need just a little small thing to fill in. And as I mentioned, I am very happy with all of those products. They're incredible. There's also a 10% off discount code in the description box for Born Pretty store. So if you are interested in any of these things that I'm showing you at the moment, you can go see their links and get a discount on them as well. So I'm going to be painting her face. I'm going to start with a black oval for her eye, just a really easy C shape for her mouth, and then add a little line in her ear and between her forehead, or her head and her neck, and then highlight her eye, her ear, and her horn, and all over the place with just little white lines, just to really add to that 3D effect. And I'm going to be applying a gel sealer in the background, over that silver background and over the rhinestones, and then I'm going to be curing it. And it's really nice to add gel sealer over the top of rhinestones, because they really show up and look really sparkly after you do that, and it also helps hold them in place. And then I'm going to be adding some matte top coat over the top of my unicorn. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this design. Please share any recreations with me on Facebook and Instagram. I would really love to see them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!